Hi, and welcome to my series on math reviewers. For those who will be taking civil service examination, let other entrance examinations, and also scholarships. So para sa video na ito, mag-focus ako sa mga word problems na maaring lumabas sa mga examinations na aking nabanggit. So without further ado, let's get started. Para sa ating unang feature problem, it says here a development project which was financed by ecological organizations amounted to 3.6 million pesos. If there had been two more contributors and the expenses were shared equally, it would have cost each organization 300,000 less. How many organizations contributed to the project? So the options are as follows. Number one, or the first option has three, second option has four, third option has six, and fourth option has nine. So, pag ganitong mga problems, of course, we do the analysis. Now, we analyze kung paano natin siya isosolve. But personally, I look for some keywords. No? Naghahanap ako ng mga keywords o ng mga clues doon sa problem. So, in this case, meron tayong isang project no, that costs 3.6 million. Ang hinahanap natin dito ay ilan yung mga organizations na nag-contribute and equal naman yung contribution nila. There's another condition here na crucial doon sa pagso-solve natin. It says here na kung merong two more organizations, magkakaroon sila ng makakatipid yung mga organizations na nag-contribute and they would be able to save 300,000 pesos. So, how do I solve this? So, para sa akin ay go directly to the options para hindi na ako gagawa ng equations and then formulating equations may take some time, no? So, para mabilis, I go directly to the options because I know what to do with the options. So, anong gagawin natin, no? So, let me start with the first option na may three organizations. So, para malaman natin yung contribution ng bawat isa, we will divide the total amount which is 3.6 million or 3,600,000 pesos dito sa option na to which is 3, no? 3 organizations. So, dividing 3,600,000 by 3 will give us 1,200,000 or simply 1.2 million. Yan ay kung tatlo yung organizations. Pero dahil may condition doon nakasaad na if there were two more organizations, makakatipid sila ng 300,000. So let us check kung magkano na yung contribution nila kung lima na kung may nadagdag na dalawa pang organization. So in this case, we will add 2 doon sa 3 na original option natin, 3. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So we will divide again the 3,600,000 by 5 and it gives us 720,000 pesos. Let us now check kung makakapagbigay yon ng 300,000 na savings or makaka-less sila ng 300,000. How do we do that? We simply subtract the two amounts that we got kanina, no? Doon sa pagkukuha ng kanilang contribution. So we subtract 1.2 million or 1,200,000 by 720,000. And the answer is 480,000, which is hindi ito yung hinahanap nating 300,000. So hindi ito yung tamang sagot. Option 1 is not the correct answer. So let's move on to option number 2, which is 4 or 4 organizations. So if there are 4 organizations, we divide again the total amount, which is 3,600,000 by 4, and it will give us 900,000. So yung contribution ng apat na organizations will be 900,000 kung sila apat lang. But if there are two more, so that would be apat yan plus 2 will give us 6. So we will divide again 3,600,000 by 6 organizations, which gives us 600,000. Now let us check if this will give us 300,000 as the savings. No? So let us subtract 600,000 from 900,000. So 900,000 minus 600,000 is equal to 300,000. So indeed, ito yung nakapagbigay ng savings na 300,000. So, makaka-less sila ng 300,000. Now, I will no longer be solving for uh, the other two options dahil ito na yung nakuha nating sagot. So, the correct answer is found on option number 2, which is 4. Now, let's go to problem number 2. The Philippines and 19 other Asian nations decide to cut their oil consumptions by 2 million barrels a day. If this is 5% of their daily oil consumption, how many barrels of oil or how many barrels are consumed by these countries in one day? And the options are, first option, 400 million, second is 10 million, third option is 40 million, and fourth option is 100 million. Okay, so ano ang mga keywords and clues na we can or the given no na problem na ito. So, basically meron tayong given na there we have actually 20 nations because we have 19 plus the Philippines. So, we have 20 nations here, no? But it's not that relevant, the number of countries ay hindi gano'n ka-relevant. So, yung nakasaad dito ay kinakat nila, no? Yung kanilang oil consumption by 5%. Now, ano yung 5%? Dito nakasaad na yung 5% ay 2 million barrels a day. So ito ay across sa lahat ng countries, hindi ito per country na 2 million barrels ang binabawas nila. So bawas ito no sa kanilang consumption daily. So if they are consuming a, a certain number of barrels, binabawasan nila ng 2 million barrels yon a day. Sa lahat na to ng countries no across. And itong 2 million ay sabi ko nga kanina ay 5% ng kanilang daily consumption. At ang tinatanong ay ano yung daily consumption ng mga countries na to in one day. So, okay. How do I solve this? No? So, there are two ways that I solve this. I can use proportion. So, let me show you how to use proportion in this case. So, first I will let a variable no para magkaroon ako ng representation doon sa hinahanap natin which is the number of barrels, the total number of barrels that these countries consume in one day. So, yun yung hinahanap kasi, no? So, I will let letter B be the number of barrels that these countries consume daily. So, the total number of barrels of oil, no? So, how do I make a proportion? So, just using the given, no? But this time, I will be using whole numbers for the percent para mas madali yung computation. So 5, that's 5%. 5% is to 2. That is the 2 million. So 5 is to 2, and that is equal to 100 is to B because we don't know what is that. The number no of barrels, so we let B. So 5 and 100 is these are the percentages, no? So percentages or the rate, uh, percent rate, 5% and 100%. So 100% dahil ang hinahanap natin yung total. And multiplying the extremes and the means. So yung means ay 2 and 100. So 2 times 100, that is 200, and the extreme is 5 and B. So just to solve, medyo pinaiksi ko na dito, I came up with a fraction na yung B is equal to B is equal to 2 times 100 divided by 5. So 2 times 100, yung 2 times 100 which is the numerator, ayan yung means, yung nasa loob. No? Yung dalawang nasa loob, yung 2 and 100. So 2 times 100 is equal to 200 divided by 5 gives me 40. So 200 divided by 5 is 40 or 40 million barrels a day. Since we're looking for okay, hindi lang ito 40 barrels, no, but this should be 40 million barrels, no. So, yan yung kanyang unit. No? Now, there's another way of doing this using the percentage, using a shortcut on percentage. Now, we know that the rule or the formula in finding the percent, no, is equal to, or percentage is equal to rate times the base. Now we can derive a formula from that, and we can even make it a shortcut. That if we want to find the base, in this case, yung total number of barrels, we divide it by percent, or percentage divided by the rate, no? So percentage divided by the rate. In this case, kailangan natin i-convert yung rate into decimal format or decimal form. So that would be uh, total is equal to 2 divided by 0.05. Bakit 0.05? Because that is the decimal form or equivalent of 5%. So 2 divided by 0.05. Pag ganito yung mga problem, you can simply do this. You can outrightly do this, no, na yung given percentage divided by the given rate. So given dito na 2 million, yung 2, ayan yung 5%. So we just divide 2 by 5%. And it gives us 40, which is not just 40, but 40 million barrels. So hence, the correct answer is in option number 3, which is 40 million barrels. So now let's go to our third problem. Now there are 36 reams of mimeographing paper in the drawer. If 1 1/4 dozens of reams of paper will be used for printing, ang tanong ay how many reams should be left in the drawer? So medyo madaling tanong lang ito, medyo madaling word problem lang ito. So the options or the choices are, we have 15 for first option, 20 for second, 21 for third, and 22 for fourth option. So again, ano yung mga clues natin dito? So meron tayong total, ano yung given natin dito? Meron tayong total number of reams na nasa drawer daw. So we have 36 reams of mimeographic paper. And ang isa pa ay meron, ang gagamitin for printing ay 101 and not 100, 1 1/4 dozens. So kailangan natin i-recall kung ano ba yung dozen, no? It's very basic naman kung ano yung dozen. Ang tanong ay how many reams should be left in the drawer? So minsan dito yung nagkakamali yung iba kasi they're just looking for the 1 1/4 dozen. So ang tinatanong kasi how many reams were left in the drawer after getting the number of reams for printing. So here is my solution. So step 1 is to find how many reams are there in 1 1/4 dozens. So we know that in 1 dozen there are 12 units, or there are 12 reams, and meron din tayong 1/4, no? Ano yung 1/4 ng isang dozen? 1/4, or that is 1/4 times 12 is equal to 3. So ang 1 dozen ay 12, and 1/4 dozen ay 3. So we add to get 1 and 1/4. 12 plus 3 is 15. So 15 reams pala ang magagamit for printing. And since we're looking for the number of reams left in the drawer, we will be subtracting uh, 15 from 36. So that would be 36 minus 15, and it will give us 21. Hence, the correct answer, no? The correct answer is in option number 3, which has 21 reams. So I hope you're able to follow. Medyo madali na naman itong mga questions na to, no? Okay, next we have here a group of men went on fishing trip, agreeing that each should pay the same amount. The total bill was 168 pesos. If there had been two fewer men, each man would have to pay 2 more pesos, so 2 pesos more. How many men went fishing? So yan yung tanong, ano? So let's go to the options. We have first option is, or option 1 is 15. option 2 is 14, option 3 is 13, and option 4 is 12. So let's analyze the problem. We have a group of men who went on fishing. So binabasa ko lang ulit yung problem, ano? And as they went on fishing, they agreed that they will be paying the same amount, no? So meron silang babayarang bill na 168 pesos. Pero kung may condition ulit dito, no? If there had been two fewer men, so ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Kung babawasan sila ng dalawa, bawat isa sa kanila ay magdadagdag ng contribution na 2 pesos. So ang hinahanap natin, how many men were there who went on fishing? So, paano kaya ito? So basically, pag ganito yung problem, basic operations lang yung gagamitin natin. No? So, how do I solve this? Let us use the option. No? Para madali, let us use the options ulit. So, for our option 1, we have 15. So, ano yung step 1 natin? Step 1 is to solve for the individual contribution or individual payment nung mga nag-fishing. So, bawat isa magkano kaya yung babayaran if yung ah, yung ah, ah, yun nga if 15 sila, no? So, if 15 yung nag-fishing, magkano kaya yung individual contribution? And we can do that by simply dividing 168, the total bill, by 15, which gives us 11 pesos and 20 centavos. So each person has to pay 11 pesos and 20 centavos yun yung kanilang contribution doon sa bill. But if there were two fewer men, so babawasan natin ng dalawa, yung 15, no? Kasi yan yung assumed na total number of men who went on fishing. So 15 minus 2 is 13. We divide 168 by 13. So 168 divided by 13 is equal to 12 pesos and 92 centavos. Now, our next step or our step 2 is to compare the two amounts and try to verify kung ang difference nila ay 2 pesos. No? Now, apparently, malayo maging 2 pesos, no? Dahil magkaiba nga yung decimal places nila. No? Yung isa ay 11.20 and the other one is 12.92. So, hindi ko na pinakita dito kung ano yung difference nila kasi obvious naman na hindi 2 pesos. So, dahil hindi yan yung sagot, let's jump to the next option, which is option 2 na nakasaad yung 14. So, 14 men dito ay went on fishing and let's us do the same steps, dividing 168, the bill, by 14. So, 168 divided by 14 is equal to 12 pesos. So, 12 pesos pala yung contribution. Pag 14, 14 men went on fishing. So, 12 pesos ang babayaran bawat isa. If we subtract 2 doon sa 14, dahil 2 fewer nga, so 14 minus 2 is 12, and let us divide 168 by 12, ang sagot dito ay 14. So, let us compare, no? And try to verify kung ang margin, ang difference nila ay 2 pesos. Now, medyo madali naman, no? Na we can compare easily na 14 is 2 more than 12. 14 pesos is 2 pesos more than 12 pesos. Kaya ito na yung sagot natin, option number 2, which has 14 men who went on fishing. Let's go to the next problem. We have this. So it says here, the ceiling of a building 18 meters by 15 meters is to be painted. How many gallons of paint are required for the ceiling if the gallon can cover 15 square meters? So let us go to the options. Option 1, 15 or 15 gallons. Option 2, 18. Option 3, 20. And option 4, 27 gallons. So hinahanap dito yung number of gallons, no? Kasi yan yung tinatanong. But let us first analyze ano yung meron dito. So we have a ceiling and it is a rectangular ceiling. Bakit ko nasabi rectangular? Kasi hindi equal naman, no? So, hindi equal yung kanilang length and width, no? We have 18 as the length and width is 15. So, rectangular yan. Now, uh, another clue here or another given is that if we paint, if we use a gallon of paint, mako-cover niya yung 15 square meters. So, dito sinasaad na yung isang gallon can cover an area of 15 meters. 15 square meters, hindi 15 meters lang. So in this case, dahil yung ang 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 sinasaad dito ay meron nako-cover na area by 1 gallon. So what we can do is to solve first for the area noong ceiling. So here is my solution, proposed solution. Step 1 is to find the area of the ceiling. So we know how to find the area, which is just to multiply the length and the width. So 18 meters times 15 meters is equal to 270 square meters. Hindi meters yan. Ang unit ng area, it should be square meters. Step 2 is to divide the area by the area covered by 1 gallon of paint. So the area na nakuha natin kanina is 270 divided by 15 ay sagot ay 18 gallons. So therefore, kasi pareho itong square meters, no? So 270 square meters divided by 15 square meters, the answer is in gallons dahil ang 1 gallon is or can cover 15 square meters. So the answer here is 18 gallons. Now, actually kung mabilis kayo doon sa problem, you can easily cancel out, no, yung mako-cover na 15. So maiiwan lang talaga din yung 18 meters, no, kahit hindi na kayo mag-solve. But that takes time and that also takes some amount of exposure para makita nyo, ma-spot nyo yung pattern na yun. So I hope with this, I hope you learned something from this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.